Today, we gather to explore a passage from the book of Amos, a text that confronts us with the profound reality of divine judgment, human action, and the inevitable spiritual consequences that follow. The words of Amos, a shepherd-turned-prophet, speak across centuries to remind us of a divine oversight that meticulously observes the actions of nations and individuals alike. In this sermon, we will delve into the causal relationships established by the transgressions of Gaza, the complicity of Edom, and their overarching impact on Israel. Through this exploration, we aim to uncover the interconnectedness of our actions and the divine oversight that guides the moral and spiritual order of our world. Our journey through this narrative will challenge us to reflect on our personal and communal roles in perpetuating injustice or righteousness in the eyes of God. At the heart of our passage, Gaza's egregious act of carrying away prisoners to shut them up in Edom is not merely a political maneuver, but a profound moral failure. This aggression serves as a catalyst, triggering a series of divine judgments that reveal the depth of God's engagement with the affairs of nations. The act of forcibly removing individuals from their homeland and subjecting them to captivity in a foreign land embodies a breach of divine law and human dignity. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Galatians, warns us of a universal principle that underpins the moral fabric of creation. Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Galatians 6:7. This scripture illuminates the truth that our actions have consequences, both seen and unseen, and that divine justice is an inescapable reality of our existence. Edom's reception of the captives from Gaza marks a critical point in this narrative, acting as a bridge between the initial act of aggression and its broader implications. By accepting these captives, Edom becomes complicit in Gaza's sin, illustrating how inaction or passive acceptance can be as condemnable as the act of aggression itself. This complicity extends the sphere of moral responsibility and illustrates the interconnectedness of our choices and their impacts on others. The dangers of complicity in the sins of others are starkly warned against in the second epistle of John. Anyone who welcomes them shares in their wicked work. 2 John 1:11. This passage underscores the spiritual peril of aligning oneself with or aiding the sinful acts of others, highlighting the importance of discernment and the maintenance of moral integrity in all our relationships and actions. The actions of Gaza, enabled by Edom's complicity, culminate in a significant impact on Israel, showcasing the ripple effect of sin and disobedience. This narrative thread underlines how the consequences of sin are not confined to the perpetrator, but extend outward, disturbing the divine order and affecting the collective well-being of communities and nations. The interconnectedness of these events serves as a vivid illustration of the broader effects of sin on the fabric of society and the divine order. This sequence of events emphasizes the profound theological truth that disobedience and sin have far-reaching implications beyond their immediate context. The impact on Israel serves as a testament to the disruption of peace and divine order that results from collective sin, highlighting the necessity of adhering to divine commands and living in accordance with God's will to maintain harmony and righteousness within the community. By refusing the captives from Gaza, Edom would not only disrupt the causal chain initiated by Gaza's transgression, but also embody a stance against complicity in sin. This act of refusal could manifest as a moral objection to the injustices perpetrated by Gaza, thereby negating Edom's role as a passive enabler of sin. Such a decision would inherently challenge the moral failure represented by Gaza's initial act of aggression, positing Edom not as a bridge in the chain of transgression but as a barrier to its propagation. The refusal by Edom to accept the captives would significantly impact Gaza's aggression by isolating Gaza's actions and highlighting its sole responsibility for the transgression. This isolation could lead to increased scrutiny and potential backlash against Gaza from other nations or communities, including a possible call for justice or reparation for the captives. Moreover, it might deter future acts of aggression by illustrating that such actions will not be tacitly supported or ignored by neighboring entities. The implications for Israel, in the scenario where Edom refuses the captives, could vary greatly depending on the broader geopolitical and spiritual context. However, one potential outcome is the prevention of further destabilization or conflict within the region. By acting against the tide of aggression and complicity, Edom could contribute to a regional environment where justice and righteousness are prioritized, potentially leading to a more favorable divine outlook on the region as a whole. This refusal could act as a catalyst for peace and reconciliation among nations, aligning more closely with divine principles and possibly averting further divine judgment.